Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Jennifer Whitney and I am the Director of Marketing at ASTA, and I will be the organizer for today's presentation. We are very happy to welcome today's presenter, Mr. Javier Aranda, Director of Puerto Vallarta Tourism Board. Before we get started, I'd like to point out a few important features on your screen that will allow you to interact with us via the web. We will be answering your questions at the end of the presentation. To ask a question, you will use your GoToWebinar pane. This is near the bottom of this pane and is an area that says Questions. If you click on the arrow next to where it says Questions, it will open a window pane. This is what you will use to communicate with us. If you are having trouble hearing the presentation, please make sure your speakers are turned on. And if you have called in, try hanging up and dialing back in. You can send me any technical issues via the questions pane and I will answer them for you. I will respond to you via that same pane. Please note that all audience members are muted. We certainly want to hear from you, but we have so many people on the call that the background noise would be prohibitive, and we want to ensure that everyone can hear the entire presentation. Of course, as a reminder, we do have two exciting giveaways today on the webinar. You must be present you must be present for the presentation from beginning to end, and we will announce the winners live after the Q&A session. Our first prize will be a $100 Visa gift card courtesy of ASTA, and we have a 3-night stay for two at the Hotel Extra Mexico in Playa del Carmen. Finally, please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be available for on-demand viewing at asta.org by early next week. Now let's get started. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Jack Grant with Business Development here at ASTA. Jack?
Good afternoon, travel advisors. It's been my pleasure to introduce to you a series of webinars that are sponsored by Mexico Tourism, a world of its own. Today's subject is Mexico's biodiversity. And Mexico is one of the most diverse countries in the world in terms of tourism, but we're going to drill down today on biodiversity. And we're going to hear from our friend Javier Aranda, who is the Director General of Puerto Vallarta Tourism. I've had the pleasure of knowing Javier for a number of years, going back to his position with the Mexico Tourism Board as Director General of Europe. He is going to take us on a tour of Mexico's biodiversity with a focus on Puerto Vallarta, which is the resort town in Mexico's Pacific coast in the state of Jalisco. An amazing place. I've visited it often. It's just incredible, the diversity of tourism that you'll find there, particularly on today's subject of biodiversity. And without further ado, let me introduce Javier Aranda to take us on a tour.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jen. We are very glad to be today talking about this beautiful part of the country, just in front of the Pacific Ocean, embraced by the mountains of the Sierra Madre Occidental. We're going to begin talking a little about Mexico. How far will you go when you are talking about Mexico, that it's a world of its own? Mexico is one of the most biodiverse countries in the world. We have 35 World Heritage Sites. It's the top country with the most heritage sites in Latin America. We have 11,000 kilometers of coastline along both the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific coast, where Puerto Vallarta is located. Over 340 species of birds, more than 80 species of butterflies, and 2,000 types of plants. Mexican gastronomy has been recognized by UNESCO as an intangible World Heritage. We have over 180 archaeological sites, more than 1,200 museums, and 121 magical towns. Mexico has over 160 golf courses and is the leading destination to play the sport all around the country. Let's talk about Puerto Vallarta and Riviera Nayarit. That is just in front of the Bay of Banderas. It's located in this largest bay in Mexico. That is a horseshoe-shaped bay known for its calm and deep waters, rich in marine life. It's a member of the world's most beautiful bays in the world. Banderas Bay shelters numerous diverse ecosystems, including tropical lagoons, rainforests, mangroves, pristine beaches, reefs, waterfalls, and spectacular mountains, making it a prime ecotourism destination. Banderas Bay, member of the most beautiful bays in the world, in addition to being the largest in Mexico and the second largest in North America after the Hudson Bay, has a great biodiversity thanks to the Sierra Madre Mountains and the various rivers that flow into the sea. The currents of the rivers fill the waters of the Mexican Pacific with nutrients, which allows marine life to develop and dolphins to live here throughout the years, as well as receiving sea turtles during the summer and humpback whales that come to have their calves during the winter. Just in the following months, we will be seeing these amazing mammals coming into the bay. The Sierra Madre Mountains are also a center of many ecological wonders, with its wide array of vegetation and wildlife, including amphibians, birds, reptiles, deer, hares, and mountain lions. Visitors can opt to explore the area on foot, on horseback or ATVs, or zipping across the canyons on a zip line, all with enjoying spectacular views of the scenery, as well as the area's colorful native birds, including woodpeckers, parrots, yellow-winged, cacique, and parakeets. Because of its geographical location, Puerto Vallarta is an excellent place for bird watching. The region is home to more than 350 species of birds, including aquatic, terrestrial, and marine birds, many of them endemic to the region, and some others that have migrated. This activity can be practiced practically all year round with guided tours by experts who will identify each of the species that you will find on the way. Los Arcos is one of Puerto Vallarta's most popular diving and snorkeling locations and was named a National Marine Park in 1984 by the National Commission of Natural Protected Areas. It is situated near the small village of Mismaloya, and this protected park consists of towering rock arcs, caves, tunnels, and reefs full of marine animals, including angelfish, butterfly fish, puffers, eagle rays, sea turtles, moray eels, dolphins, giant mantas, and the infamous blue-footed booby. Los Arcos offer excellent conditions for night diving as well as a unique opportunity to dive the Devil's Canyon, an underwater cliff dropping 2,000 feet under Banderas Bay, teeming with marine life. It is very popular to go there and do paddle boarding, kayaking. It's really one of the iconic views that we could have and can be seen by all the different areas in the Bay of Banderas. COLOMITOS, southeast of Puerto Vallarta, lies the hidden jewel of this beautiful beach. It's a remote cove hidden in a valley of the Sierra Madre Mountains, only reachable by boat or hiking. During an approximate 45-minute hike from Boca de Tomatlan to COLOMITOS, visitors will experience tropical forest and cross over a rope-suspended bridge, offering the opportunity to observe iguanas, red foxes, armadillos, yellow-winged cacique, and colorful dragonflies. Upon arrival at the sparkling waters of COLOMITOS Beach, visitors can rent from Boca de Tomatlan equipment of a variety of water sports, including snorkeling, swimming, and kayaking. On the southern section of Banderas Bay lies Las Caletas, a hidden cove made famous by film director John Huston, who made it his retreat. Las Caletas is a secluded paradise with a spectacular backdrop of the Sierra Madre Mountains, beautiful beaches, and a tropical reef. Las Caletas offers visitors an endless number of activities, including snorkeling, sea kayaking, bird watching, hiking through jungle trails to lovely orchid gardens, and guests can also take a spa treatment, dine, or have an outdoor show experience. The place and all its attractions are operated by Vallarta Adventures, a major tour company in Puerto Vallarta, and it can only be visited by booking through them. Vallarta Adventures has a strict and thorough program to ensure Las CALETAS Islands to conserve the sustainability of the beach. Nestled between the Pacific Ocean and the Sierra Madre forest, YELAPA is a tiny community free of roads, street signs, and cars. It is surrounded by breathtaking natural beauty. Visitors can opt to bury their toes in the sand, go bird watching, hike to the Cola de Caballo waterfalls, and swim in its refreshing waters, practice yoga, or go paragliding. MAJAHUITAS Beach is only accessible by boat 20 minutes south of Puerto Vallarta. It's an isolated cove that offers a paradisiac atmosphere where one can enjoy a relaxing day of sunbathing, kayaking, stand-up paddle boarding, playing a game of beach volleyball, or snorkeling along the reef. The natural protected area of El Salado Estuary is situated in the middle of the city and contains aquatic and underwater vegetation. Here, inventories of flora and fauna, ecological study of the system, studies of the environmental effect of road and port infrastructure works, dock and marina, and monitoring of the population of crocodiles, iguanas, raccoons, birds, and fish. The Vallarta Botanical Garden is a not-for-profit organization that started in 2004 with a mission of propagating, studying, discovering, conserving, and displaying native plants from Mexico and from around the world. The Vallarta Botanical Garden sits on 64 acres of land and is home to a vast diversity of Mexican plant species, including the most visited public collection of orchids in Mexico, and it has a conservatory orchids with more than 200 orchid species present in the country. The Botanical Garden of Puerto Vallarta is one of the 10 best gardens in North America, according to the Canadian Garden Council. And this year, readers of USA Today voted Vallarta Botanical Garden number 4 on the 10 best garden list. During the winter season, from December to March, the majestic humpback whales reach the waters of the Bay of Banderas to carry out their reproduction rituals. While on a whale watching tour, it is possible to see the different behaviors of the humpback whale, which range from jumps, wings, mothers with their playful offsprings, tail thumping, groups of males courting the females, and even listen through the hydrophone the enigmatic song of the males. During the arrival of these species, we have the support of the National Commission of Protected Natural Areas to continue working on the projects of the Network of Assistance to Entangled Whales and the Program of Prevention, Information, and Monitoring of Humpback Whales in Banderas Bay in Puerto Vallarta. Turtles have made the beaches of Puerto Vallarta their nesting beach for centuries, with thousands of sea turtles laying their eggs from May to September. A combined effort is made by local authorities and non-for-profit organizations to protect the eggs by picking them up off the beach, caring for them until they are ready to hatch, then placed back into their nest for natural hatching. Once the eggs are hatched and the newborns are ready to be released into their natural habitat, various hotels invite their guests to help in the liberation of the babies on the beaches, facilitating their way to the water. Puerto Vallarta is also one of the few places in the world where you can swim with dolphins in their natural habitat. Puerto Vallarta offers you the opportunity to visit these fabulous animals in their natural environment and participate in a research program that helps to better understand and protect the dolphins of Puerto Vallarta. Interact with a group of bottlenose dolphins, residents of the bay. In a guided encounter with dolphins in the wild, sessions are limited to small groups of participants, always accompanied by professional biologists.
Javier, is this also, can we take the tours also through Puerto Vallarta Adventures?
Yes, it is possible to do this. You know, it has a cost because all these people are recovering money to try to keep the study on the bottlenose dolphins. It costs for the adults around $68 and for kids $43. And are just a few number of participants that could be to go and do the swimming with the dolphins in their habitat.
I've done this once or twice, and I tell you, it is an amazing experience, far different from any swimming with the dolphins in, you know, kind of a pool or a environment. In the natural, it's quite an experience. I would highly recommend it to your clients.
Yeah, the freedom they have, the possibility to be moving around, the way they are accompanying you, the boat, and when you are in the ocean, makes it really something spectacular. I believe that it is one of the most amazing experience that you could have in family. To be there with the kids is really great because they understand how amazing are these intelligent mammals, and we have it all year long here in the Bahia of Banderas, in the Bay of Banderas. It's really a wonderful show to experience in family.
It certainly is.
Well, keep going. We could go and see Marietas Islands that were named a natural protected area by the National Commission of Natural Protected Areas. And in the same year, they were named a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. And Islas Marietas, you can find a refuge for bird watching and the marine life of the Bay of Banderas. You can practice around scuba diving, have fun doing snorkeling, and admire a lot of underwater landscapes full of life and color. And of course, it's romantic hidden beach that you can see in this photograph that by itself is a whole show. And again, here, this is a very important area for us, and it is protected all year long. The archipelago itself is a natural wonder, and it was formed by volcanic activity. Right now, to protect the area, only 120 visitors a day have the privilege of visiting the natural reserve. Visitors will be coordinated in groups of 15 with a maximum stay of 30 minutes. And again, this is something that you could contract here directly in the destination, and it costs around $100 per person to do the visiting to this beautiful beach that is the Beach of Love. The mountains offers a lot of different options to enjoy nature. El Jorullo, this area, was founded in 1940 with 180 residents and 157 communal land holders, and it belongs to the Association of Foresters North Coast Jalisco. In 2005, a group of communal land holders presented an ecotourism project to the Communal Land Board and invited all to join. The next year, in 2006, operations began, and the commercial brand Canopy River was founded, offering zipline tours, and in the years to follow, additions such as all-terrain vehicle excursions, rappel, rafting, muleback riding, and many more activities were made to the ecopark offerings. The Jorullo Bridge is the longest vehicular suspended bridge in the world. In the middle of the Sierra Madre Mountains is the large hanging structure, 1,542 feet long and 344 feet high, added to the zone in a totally responsible and harmonious way as to not disrupt nature. Adventure seekers will enjoy a spectacular 360-degree views of the mountains and part of the Puerto Vallarta Bay. In the surroundings of Puerto Vallarta, we have different small towns that are really wonderful to visit because you can experience how we change from palms to pines. For example, San Sebastián del Oeste, the unique position in between the Bay of Banderas and the Sierra Madre, our visitors have the opportunity to experience two different ecosystem views and weather with a simple 1-hour drive. Moving from the ocean with its palm trees and sunny warm weather to the pines, rivers and fresh weather of the mountains, you can experience two-in-one vacation. One suggestion for a weekend getaway is to visit the town of San Sebastián del Oeste. This is a magical town with mining origins that peaked during the colonial period. A visit here is to travel back in time. Its churches, ranches, and old mines have endured despite the years gone by. When you enter these places, if you know where to look, you can discover the stories of greatness they have to share. Although most of its inhabitants emigrated when the mines closed, those who stayed jealously guard what is left and keep the town's story alive. San Sebastián is surrounded by lush fruit trees, pines and oaks, sheltered by the white fog that fades slowly as the rays of the sun glide gradually between their branches and illuminate the mansions, former ranches and little houses with tiled roofs. Enjoy this incredible landscape or an amazing panoramic view of Bahía de Banderas from the top of Bufa Hill. And exploring the surroundings, Puerto Vallarta neighboring areas offer a wealth of historic, cultural, and eco-friendly experiences that capture the essence of Mexico and can be sampled in well-organized day trips from the city. At the east, you could find Mascota and Talpa de Allende, both are magical towns, and at the south, El Tuito, MAJAHUITAS, and YELAPA. That is the reason that Puerto Vallarta is one of the it is one of the most important destinations in Mexico. I can say that it is the most Mexican destination at the beach in our whole country. And, well, we are very glad to talk about everything that we have to offer because the mixing between the Bay of Banderas and the mountain shows a little of all the nature that our country has to offer to all our visitors in this wonderful place that we say it all the time with the saying that it's a world on its own. We really are a world on its own. So whatever question that you want to do, we are open to try to answer the best we can.
Javier, I've got a question for you. One of the things I really enjoy doing is just taking an evening and walking down the Malecón and dropping into any number of restaurants that are along that magical walkway. Can you talk a little bit about Puerto Vallarta and the various choices, culinary gastronomy choices in your destination?
Yes, it's a good question, Jack, because it gives me the opportunity to say that we have in Puerto Vallarta more than 300 different restaurants. Gastronomy is really very important for us. We said that Puerto Vallarta is for foodies. The people that like to have really very good food can find it here in Puerto Vallarta. And as you said, the Malecón, that is almost a mile of a walking area for all the visitors and the people in the place, offer a great variety of different restaurants facing the Bay of Banderas. And we have, Mexican food, local food, French, Italian, German, Japanese, whatever you want, you could find it in a small area in the historic town of Puerto Vallarta. And of course, if you are enjoying the sunset that we have, because we are in the Pacific, we have the best sunset that you could find all around the coast. It's a perfect place for to have a good dining, to enjoy with your friends, to enjoy with the family. Again, the options are really a big variety for everybody.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, no problem, Jack. We do have a couple. First, somebody did comment that Puerto Vallarta is their favorite. And also, going back to the turtles, when do the turtles hatch?
Yeah. When the turtles came and leave their eggs here, the people from the hotels and the people of the federal zone, the beaches in Mexico are federal. Everybody could go there, but they are always trying to protect all the cycle of the turtles. Since they are coming here and rescue the eggs and put it in a special place, And then when they hatch, that it is almost 45 to 60 days before, we took all the small turtles and protected from the predators, from the land predators, and conduct them directly to the water, trying to conserve most of them. You know that they are very vulnerable, so at least that part, when they hatch and has to come to get back again into the ocean, well, that part we can take care of them. And it has been really very good, because each year we are receiving more and more turtles that come and nest into all the area of the Bay of Bandera.
Great, thank you. The next question is a two-part question. Can you get to the Puerto Vallarta Botanical Gardens by public transportation? And also, what is the cost of admission?
You can go in a cab, in a taxi, with any problem. They can take you directly to the Botanical Garden. And the cost is $10 per person. Kids under 4 years are free. And it's really a wonderful experience. You can hike all around. They have a beautiful chapel inside. So if you are trying, for example, to do a wedding into the Botanical Garden, you can do that. They have a wonderful restaurant. Again, talking about gastronomy, they have a really very good chef in the place. So you can go and eat there. You can go and enjoy the river, see this sanctuary for the orchids. The place is really wonderful. They have one of the only peace garden in Latin America, that it's a place that everybody is welcome, no matter the race, no matter the religion. It's just a place to enjoy peace, to ask for the peace of everybody, because we are a place where everybody is welcome. We said that we are the friendliest place in the world.
Well, that certainly will drive me to get there. We have a lot of really good compliments from everyone saying that this is a very informative training. They very much, appreciate all the information that you have given. We have a lot of people who are now very excited to go and experience Puerto Vallarta. And there was one question asking if this is going to be a recorded webinar and if we will send a link out after. Yes, this is currently being recorded and we will send a link out to all attendees. But it looks as though that might be the end of our questions. Again, Mr. Javier Aranda, we really much appreciate you being on the line and giving us a lot of informative experiences that we can take on to our clients. So again, as I mentioned, this webinar is being recorded, so if you would like to listen to the presentation again, we will send out the link, and it will be available to ASTA members at asta.org. And so thank you everyone who has been on this call today. We very much appreciate you taking the time, and this will conclude today's webinar presentation. And before we go, actually, I have to give away our prizes. I forgot about that. So I'm sure that is what everyone is waiting for as well. So for the $100 Visa gift card, courtesy of ASTA, this will be to Terry Raymond. Terry Raymond, congratulations on a $100 Visa gift card. And then next, our grand prize of a 3-night stay for 2 at the Hotel Expat Mexico in Playa del Carmen. I'm hoping I pronounced this name correctly, but that is Teresa Asara. Congratulations to you on winning that great prize at Hotel Expat. So I will be in touch with both of you after this call and an email to help you redeem your prize. Okay, now that will conclude the webinar for today. Thank you again, Mr. Javier Aranda Padero, for being on the line with us today.
My pleasure.
Javier, you're wonderful.
Thank you all
Thank you
for being participating.
Yes, very much.
And,
okay.
And thank you all, travel advisors, and we'll see you again this coming Friday. We've got 2 this week, 2 webinars. So another different aspect of Mexico, a world of its own. So we'll see you at the same time, same place on Friday.
Yes. Good point, Jack. All right, thank you.
Thank you.